So, Erin, for the holidays, I got you a gift. It's the book 50 Shades of Grey.
Nice.
Guess I shouldn't have gotten the pop-up edition.
From Los Angeles, it's the John Kerwin Show. I'm your announcer, Justin Nottingham, along with Nicholas Burns and the Night Owl. Tonight's guest, E.G. Daily, Jael, DePardo, with musical guest Vicky Martinez. And now, here's your host, John Kerwin.
Welcome back. Our next guest is one of the stars of the Sci-Fi Channel's Haunted Highway, along with Jack Osbourne, in its second season. She was a world traveler for the show Destination Truth, and fans call her a real-life Lara Croft. Please join me in welcoming Jael DePardo. Hello.
Hi, John.
Thank you so much for coming down on the show. Now, I was so concerned about your name. This took me all night. This is what I wrote over here. I wrote Jael, and it's Weil, but Jael, like Weil. Is that correct?
Jael, and I get that all the time, so don't worry about it. People always get worried.
But I think I'm right, because I actually went on YouTube and I heard you saying, I'm Jael DePardo. And
Jael.
I heard you say Jael DePardo.
You
and I went
me.
backwards, and I went backwards, and I went backwards, and I was wrong, right? I misheard you?
I mean, okay, this is Jewish Living TV, and Jael is like Yael, which is a Jewish name.
Okay.
So, come on,
Well,
you should
I don't know anything about that. I actually, when I first heard you come in, I thought your name was Jael, which I'm like, that is a badass name.
No.
My name is Jael. I was like, she's going to come out, she's going to go, I'm Jael, and here's my new friend, Penitentiary Kerwin.
Oh my
God.
God.
I'm like, yeah, let's get down.
That's terrible. I mean, how could I ever date a guy if my name was Jael?
This whole Lara Croft thing, this has to make guys really want you, because guys like adventurers. They like adventuresses. What's the word? Adventuresses? Adventurers?
Adventurous?
Adventurous.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're an adventuress.
Yes. Okay, I like that.
Yeah. So let's talk first about this great series that you're on. Congratulations.
Thank
Second
you.
season, Haunted Highway.
That's right.
With Jack Osbourne and you. And tell us about the show for people that don't know.
Well, the show is basically, it's kind of like a spin-off series from the film The Blair Witch Project. I'm not sure if you've ever seen that movie or if anyone else out there has seen it. But it's basically about a group of friends that go out on the road and they hear about an urban myth in a state or in a city. And we just go on a road trip as a bunch of buddies, and we decide we're going to go out and chase after it. And then while we're out there, all these things start to unravel. But first, we go to the locals and we find out what they think about the urban myth. And a lot of people really believe in these things. They're wholeheartedly afraid. And they're like, I was in this place, you shouldn't go there, I would never go back. And of course, that's the first place we go.
Yeah.
And usually it's in the middle of the night, and it's dark and it's scary. And so a lot of times we end up in these places like the middle of the woods, at night. Or, I've found myself scuba diving in a dark lake in the middle of winter. Things like that.
Why would you want to put yourself through that? I mean, are you just fearless?
I don't know if I would call myself fearless. I think I enjoy the challenge. I like getting out there and doing new things. I like the excitement. I'm not like an adrenaline junkie.
Well, it sounds like you are. My God.
But
you
anyway.
like excitement. You do like excitement, and you like. I mean, when I was a kid, I grew up. My apartment building was across the street from a cemetery, and we would go there on Halloween at night. And it was fun. Daytime, no problem. It was like our park.
Yeah.
But at nighttime on Halloween, it was scary. And it was scary because of the people, the kids around there, scaring you and doing things, and just the things that go in your mind. You must be a true skeptic where you can just go into these places. Because if you were really scared of ghosts and paranormal stuff, you wouldn't want to put yourself in that position.
I guess I am a skeptic. Yes, I am.
Yeah.
And a lot of these things, they're very mysterious. And I think that's why people are afraid of them, because you don't really have an answer behind them. So it makes them scarier. You know, but I am a skeptic, yes, and it's hard to pinpoint what they are because they're not tangible things. It's not like, you know, like your cup. Like I can just say yes, it's there. You know.
Yeah. Okay. Now, how does Jack Osborne get involved in this? Is it because he's in that wacky family? I don't see the connection.
Well, apparently he's been into the paranormal for a long time. It's something that he's interested in. He has a natural curiosity for it.
So he goes out on these little road trips with you as well? Or does he stay in the studio and just report from there, where it's nice and safe?
No, he's out with us. Although the last episode that just aired last week, we were both in a boat off the shores of an island off of Key West. And it was nighttime, and he was like, okay, Jael, jump off the boat. And go for a scuba dive by yourself at night. And and he was like, you know, he was sitting there and just kind of telling me, all right, come back, do this. And I'm like, oh God, this is so crazy. What am I doing?
What kind of security is there? Like, are there people there like saying, you know, well, we have to test the water, or is it just like you just do things and just hope everything works out?
Yeah, for the most part.
What's the insurance like on the show, on that network? I'm just curious.
You know, that's a good question for NBC Universal and Sci-Fi.
Oh my God, I would be so paranoid. I would not be able to get through any of these things. The whole time I would just be shaking on the show.
Yes.
I could not do a show like that. I don't know how you do it. Where does this come from? What part of you, your psyche? Were your parents like cool with doing things? I mean, you know, when I unplug something, I get nervous and I get electrocuted over here. I really do. I tell someone else, can you unplug that? What is it?
You know,
I find it very attractive, by the way, because it's the opposite of me. You know?
It's you know, it's funny that you asked me that because I was trying to figure that out myself. I was with my family over Thanksgiving, and I actually asked my grandfather that question. I'm like, where do you think I get this from? Because I'm not sure.
You were swimming with sharks, right?
I have been swimming with sharks, yes, and shipwrecks in the Bermuda Triangle. That was really scary. You know, I had my oxygen tank on, and needless to say, I definitely lost my oxygen faster than usual when I scuba dive. I was out of time a lot faster because I think I was breathing very heavily because I knew these sharks were coming. Yeah. And you know, and everyone had already descended down to the ocean floor, and they were waiting for me down there. And I was like still kind of new to scuba diving, so it was taking me longer. And I could see them coming, and I was like, I gotta get down in the to the ocean floor. It was definitely very.
I think
scary.
I figured out what it is. You want to die. That's what it is. We'll take a break. More. Jael DePardo. We're back talking with Jael DePardo. How's that?
You got it right.
Who's very aware of her surroundings but didn't notice the mistletoe above her. She made her look. I made you look.
You made me nervous because I've watched your shows before and you got kissed by other guys.
Oh, that is true, but I was just kidding. What's the closest you've come to actually dying?
Whew, gosh, let's see.
That'd be great if you just said the 405 on a Friday. All those other places.
Well, I mean, yeah, you got to be careful when driving out there in Los Angeles, you know, especially. Right. I once had an experience on one of the episodes for Destination Truth where we were in the Florida Everglades, and it was about midnight, and it was pitch black out. And you know, it's really woodsy, and it's so dark you really can't see a thing. And there were swamps, and it was hot, and it was muggy, and there's mosquitoes, and I had those what do you call them, gaiters or waders, like the high rubber boots for wading in the swamps.
Oh, what are they called? Hip boots?
Yeah,
oh, okay. Waders.
And so, you know, I'm trudging through the swamps, and all I have is a flashlight, and I'm looking around, and all of a sudden we look to the right, and there was an alligator's eyes that just floated
You're just crazy.
up.
You're crazy. You're in the swamp at midnight. I mean, you're asking for it.
Okay, listen. That day, I remember thinking to myself, holy crap, like, I love this show, but I'm not sure it's worth losing a limb.
Right.
You know, this is wild. And
so what did you do? You just got out. You said because you got to get out slowly, right? I mean.
Yeah, there was actually a guy with us from the area, and he was just kind of like led us out to, you know, in a different direction. And then as we were walking that way, you know, we also saw there was like a baby alligator under the water that I probably could have stepped on, but thank God I didn't.
I don't get you at all.
Yes.
You have the second season of Haunted Highway coming up on the Sci-Fi Channel. And what is your Twitter account? I know you wanted to promote that.
That is at Jael DePardo.
That's right. If you can spell that, go to it. Good luck. Now you've worked on these things where you've had to decipher whether stories are fact or fiction.
That's true.
A lot of these kind of paranormal experiences. So I thought that this might be fun, that I could tell you something that happened to me.
Okay.
And then you can decide with all your professional expertise whether what I'm saying is true or false.
Okay.
You guys want to see that? We'll see how she will test her. We're going to test her. So we're going to actually have some mood lighting, so bear with the noise here. And I guess that's the mood lighting. Jael.
Yes.
So I was in college with my girlfriend Stephanie, and it was summer vacation, and we both decided to stay in college around the campus. So we rented out a house that was nearby, just for the summer. And when we went there, it was really inexpensive because supposedly there were spirits there and it was somewhat haunted and so on, but that didn't bother us.
Okay.
So, because we didn't believe that, she was from New York also. So we went over there, and as I looked around, I saw the history of the house. And what struck me as I looked at the different pictures and the different eras, because it was an old house, was this one woman named Abigail. And the reason why it struck me was because at the time I was studying history, and John Adams' wife name was Abigail. And I'm like, oh, it's like John Adams' wife, Abigail. That night, we're making love. Okay. And you know, she's closing, her eyes are closed, you know, I guess because she's enjoying it. And, and right in the middle, her eyes open, and she says, I'm Abigail.
Whoa.
And I had a chill that went up my arm, and I'll never forget that. And we could put the lights up now because that is the story. Okay, so first of all, audience, how many people, by applause, think this story is fact? How many people think this is fiction? Okay, so the audience is kind of split, but I think more people think it's fiction. And what do you think, and why?
I'm going to have to go with faked.
And why do you say that?
Because I think you're a skeptic. I'm not sure that you believe in ghosts.
Well, but it's what happened.
I know, but if that happened, I think you'd believe in them.
I see. Well, you guys are right. It was complete hogwash. And if you were really thinking about it, you'd know it wasn't true because I didn't really have sex in college. Jael DePardo, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Stay right there. We're going to go out with tonight's musical guest. She was also on The Voice. She came in 3rd place 2 seasons ago. Her CD is called Vicky, and her name is Vicky Martinez. I want to thank you for coming, and I want to thank you for watching. We'll see you next time, folks. Good night.